Ladies and gentlemen, this story is unique in a lot of different ways because it involves two children, and one of the children actually is being charged with doing something very heinous to its own sibling. So here's what's unique about this story. Normally, I will never do stories against children because we're the AFC. We advocate for children. I will never advocate against children. Okay? You're talking about a 9-year-old girl and a 4-year-old boy. So there's a reason why I'm doing this story. Because I believe that I have a narrative that fits this story better than what the police have put together so far. So I'm going to give you guys my opinion, and some of my opinions might not sit well with your sensibilities, but the details of the story are probably going to grip you to the core. So just be prepared that you might hear some things that might grip your soul if you need to exit the video, but that's your disclaimer. But in this story, after a 4-year-old boy died, authorities are saying that he suffered abuse not only at the hands of his aunt, but also his 9-year-old sister. Let me say that again. The aunt abused him, and his 9-year-old sister abused this 4-year-old, very small boy. Okay? Bookmark that in your mind. We'll come back to it. Officials charged the girl with first-degree assault, according to WALA, and this is coming from lawandcrime.com, so thank you for the article. Their aunt, the boy's legal guardian, Yolanda Denise Cole. Let me get this picture up on the screen. I want to show you guys something real quick. I want you guys to take a look at this picture, this ragamuffin on my screen. Lord have mercy. Boy, if it don't look like somebody dug her out of a coffin. Like, why does that crap look like she used the same stuff that the Gorilla Glue girl put on her head? It just brushed it to the side. Like she just took some Gorilla Glue, just smoothed it on there, and just brushed it to the side. God, dog, why do you look so dusty, ma'am? Like this woman looks like she lays on a bed of hot coals. I'm sorry. But her face looks dry. Her hair looks gross. Like she literally looks like somebody pulled her out of 1920s. Like somebody literally pulled her out of out of one of her roles out of the Django story or something like that, out of a slavery movie. Like, God dog, why do you look like that, ma'am? Like, sheesh. I mean, just nothing on you matches like your that bandana, t-shirt, whatever that underwear is, whatever you got on your head, don't match your flannel shirt, don't match your t-shirt, don't match your weave that probably needed to be thrown out in the trash a couple years ago. And it's just like, my Lord, my Lord. And then you take that thing off of her head and that's what you get. Ma'am, you would have been better off just cutting it all off. Just saying, you know what? Screw hair. I don't need it. I'm sorry, but that is just not, that's not cool, man. That's not cool. That's not cool. I don't understand why you would just, so many questions, so little time. So let me tell the damn story, okay? Her name is Yolanda Denise Cole. I swear to God, that's her real name. Coale. Like she looks like she sleeps on smoldering coals, and her last name is Cole. She's 53. I swear I'm gonna get flagged. Will I get flagged if I say that she looks like she looked like what's the oh my God. Let me not do it. Let me not do it. Let me not do it. 53 years old, is currently locked up for aggravated child abuse. No one has been charged with killing the boy, though prosecutors say that she may face upgraded charges. Cole allegedly woke up to screaming on Wednesday as the young girl beat up her brother with a broomstick. I want y'all to remember that this is a 9-year-old and a 4-year-old. 9-year-old girl, 4-year-old boy. So you'd have to ask yourself, why would they be fighting? Why would she have a broomstick? Why would she be beating him and then beating him to death? I'm sorry, I know kids can fight, but if you ask me, nothing about that makes any sense at all. So to me, that's a red flag. Not even a yellow flag, but that's a red flag. Oh my God. If I show y'all this picture, I think y'all are going to get so mad at me. Tell me. Y'all are going to get so mad at me. Tell me that this woman don't look like Harriet Tubman. Let me see if I can show y'all. Boy, y'all, I know black people about to get mad at me. I think every black person in America is about to disown me for this one. Let me pause that picture. I can't help myself. I'm sorry. I got to put my coon tap shoes, my tap dance shoes on today. Got to put my tap shoes on today. Oh, Lord. Oh, my God. Oh, Lord. Now, I want y'all to tell me that they don't look like the exact same person, not a relative. Tell me that this does not look like the exact same person. She looks like 1896 Harriet Tubman. Like for real, for real. Let my people go. No. Okay. Let me stop. I'm sure I probably got flagged about 13 times right there. Okay, so anyway, they're claiming that this 9-year-old girl beat this 4-year-old boy with a broomstick. Investigators claim to find bruises on his body and other evidence of long-term abuse. Long-term abuse. Bookmark that word. The girl, and I forgot this is Black History Month too, Lord. I am, everybody in Black History literally is about to flag this video. I am so sorry, y'all. Anyway, investigators claim to find bruises on his body that showed long-term abuse. The girl did willfully torture, willfully abuse, and cruelly beat her brother, according to the complaint obtained by WPMI. During the course of the investigation, Mobile police found evidence of abuse for this child, and then he was found deceased. Mobile County Assistant District Attorney Lewis Walker said after Cole's detention hearing on Friday. Mobile County District Judge Spiro Cheriogatis, God dog, why you got a name like that, set the 53-year-old's bail at $150,000. She must live under electronic monitoring if she gets released, and she cannot have contact with kids. I seriously doubt if they're going to let her out of jail. Looks like they let her out of the Underground Railroad, but it don't look like they're going to let her out of jail. A friend of Cole's, speaking on condition of anonymity, described the case as being out in left field. I am unaware of any abuse that Miss Cole could be accused of, the friend told WALA. I've never seen her be aggressive to anyone. To me, her children, her grandchildren. So that's somehow supposed to absolve them. So let's just say, like, for even like the situations, like, y'all remember that story where the biological father, the light-skinned dude, is currently in jail on the rape and murder of his beautiful little newborn daughter. You guys remember that story? Just scroll back a couple videos because I reposted it. And it was people coming out and say that he's never done anything like that. Well, yeah, most people usually don't do anything effed up until they do something effed up, right? Until they have screwed up. Most murderers don't murder until they murder. Most rapists don't rape until they rape. Right? That doesn't mean that their history or behavior doesn't dictate the fact that not only did she participated in this abuse, but here's what I think, in my humble opinion. I think that she flat out murdered this kid. And I think what happened was either she talked this little girl into taking on the blame and maybe giving a statement, coached her into saying this, maybe out of fear, or she just flat out said, this is what the little girl did. And I want y'all to remember that there were signs of long-term abuse. These kids were probably in this house with just her alone, meaning no accountability, meaning that she's infallible, meaning that she believes that nothing that she does is wrong until she gets caught. How many times have we seen stories on my channel where they tried to say, well, yeah, the kids did it to themselves. They slipped in the bathtub, fell and hit their head, and that's how they ended up with 60 broken bones in their body. Has that not happened? Yeah, it has. How many times have we seen where a child ends up murdered and they say, yeah, the child climbed out of a window and fell out of a 2 or 3 story apartment building, and that's how they ended up dead inside of a swimming pool that had a gate locked around it, and found them inside of the filter, stuffed in the filter of a swimming pool that no longer even works, that's not operational. And guess that actually did happen. But they blamed it on the kid. I don't think it's far-fetched to say that this woman probably blamed this on the kid to let herself be absolved. So that way she doesn't feel the full brunt of this situation. In all actuality, I'm not saying that it's not beyond a kid to do something like this just to be mean, I guess, maybe. But it just doesn't seem like it's in the nature. And I'm sorry, I'm going to believe children first. I'm going to believe children first. I think that they need to really take care and take time with this and get a proper psychologist to talk to this kid, get this kid to feel safe, and get this kid, this 9-year-old girl, to tell what really happened. If you ask me, I don't believe this story at all. I don't think this 9-year-old girl beat a 4-year-old boy to death at all. Let me give you guys the fair usage, and I really hope that they're wrong. Let's get it. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. I'm asking for you guys who are listening to this video, not only to please click that thumbs up, we want to make sure and share this video with more people, but I'm going to ask you guys to take a leap of faith on this with me. I honestly and truly believe that this 9-year-old girl did not murder this boy. And no, I don't know that to be a fact. I wasn't there. We're just calling out what we believe is the case. But something about this says that this just does not sound right. And I'm asking you guys to take a leap of faith with me, to step out there, speak on this 9-year-old girl's behalf. And I don't believe that this little girl did anything like this. I think that the woman did it. This aunt did it and blamed it on the kid. That's what I believe.
The Mobile District Attorney's Office confirmed with me today the 9-year-old accused of beating her 4-year-old brother has been charged with assault, and their caregiver is facing aggravated child abuse charges. The neighbors say they didn't see it coming. Last Thursday, Mobile police responded to Jacob Drive in Mobile after a 4-year-old boy under the care of 53-year-old Yolanda Cole was unresponsive in the home. The little boy was pronounced dead at the scene. A neighbor told NBC 15 that day they are heartbroken to hear this happen to a child so close to their own home.
They seem like a real nice family, and it's always a lot of kids over there playing all the time, so it was really devastating to hear what happened.
Mobile police arrested and charged Yolanda Cole with aggravated child abuse. On her way to Metro Jail, NBC 15 questioned her about what happened.
Did you kill him?
She did not respond during her escort from police headquarters to a patrol car. Court documents now reveal more of the story, saying Yolanda woke up to the screaming kids on Thursday only to find the 9-year-old girl beating her 4-year-old brother with a broomstick. The complaint says the girl, quote, did willfully torture, willfully abuse, and cruelly beat her brother.
I've been over there before. And it's really a nice house. It's clean on the inside. Kids have nice toys. The kids always dress nice. So I really don't understand what happened.
The documents also claim there were past injuries and signs that indicate long-term abuse on the young boy's body, but it's unclear how he got those injuries. Yolanda Cole is still in jail tonight on a $150,000 bond. She's expected to appear in court tomorrow. That's when the district attorney's office may be able to release more on this case.
I want to call something else out that maybe some of you might have caught like I did, but I want y'all to think about this point. I want y'all to think about this. I believe that the aunt abused this kid because she didn't want this kid. This kid don't belong to her. This is not her DNA tie kid. She didn't give birth to these kids. She did not give birth to these kids. So here's what you'd have to ask. Why does she have custody of these kids? Did anybody ask where's the biological mother and biological father of these kids, of this boy, of this 9-year-old girl? Where their parents at? Because from what I understand, it sounds like they were living with her, like she had custody. Because you got to remember, they said that this is long-term abuse. This has been going on for a long time. So you mean to tell me that she didn't know that this type of... So you mean to tell me that... What is long-term? Years? So this little girl was beating this boy since she was like, what, 7, 6, 5 years old? Since he was born? With broomsticks and shit? What little kids do you know at 5, 6, 7, 8 years old are just beating up their siblings like that? I'm not saying it's impossible, but that just doesn't sound right. But how many times have we seen somebody who was not the biological parent to these kids beat, murder, and abuse these kids, starve these kids, tie these kids up, sell these kids, and murder these children? How many times does that happen? Especially when they're taking care of kids that don't belong to them, especially when they're only taking care of these kids because they're collecting benefit checks off of these kids. Hashtag babies for benefits. AFC hashtag. You think that she would take care of these kids for free? Only two things could happen. Either she was taking care of these kids because she was being the nice auntie and was getting no money, or she was getting a check. So let's look at both situations. If she was getting a check, then she damn sure didn't give a shit about these kids because there was long-term abuse going on. If she wasn't getting a check, then that's probably where she took her frustration out on, which also proves the long-term abuse. How about that?
To a patrol car. Court documents now.
Well, we are learning new details about the death of a 4-year-old in Mobile. The boy's sister, just 9 years old, is now charged in his death.
The boy was found beaten and unresponsive last week in a house off of Dauphin Island Parkway. News 5's Nicolette Schleisman joining us now in the studio. And Nicolette, you've been digging through the court documents all day. What have you been able to find out about this horrible case?
Yeah, absolutely horrible case. And the Mobile County District Attorney's Office says that a 9-year-old girl beat her 4-year-old brother with a broomstick. Now, an autopsy will determine his cause of death. The 9-year-old is charged with assault. This is the second arrest in this case. The child's caregiver, 53-year-old Yolanda Cole, was arrested last week. Court documents show she is the aunt of the 4-year-old boy. She's charged with aggravated child abuse. Court documents show the little boy had been hurt before, and the unexplained injuries may indicate long-term abuse. Court documents also say there's a history of abuse at the home. Mobile police were called to the home on Jacob Drive around 8 o'clock Thursday morning, where they found the 4-year-old boy unresponsive. We spoke with the Child Advocacy Center about child abuse.
9-year-olds don't normally attack if that's what has happened.
Yes, Mr. Child Advocate. Can I hear you say that again? I'd love to hear this man say that again. Let me rewind it.
9-year-olds don't normally attack if that's what has happened. 9-year-olds don't normally attack if that's what has happened. 9-year-olds don't normally attack if that's what has happened.
Sir, can you repeat yourself 3 more times? I want to make sure that the people who are listening in the back of the audience, I want to make sure that they can hear this again, so that way that these police can do their job and go and reinvestigate this properly. I told you, this is not what 9-year-olds do. This makes no sense. But I want to hear from an expert. What does the expert say?
9-year-olds don't normally attack if that's what has happened. We all tend to parent the way we were parented. I mean, it's an old wives' tale, but it's the truth. And so that's why it's so important to catch things early before they escalate, so we can help change those behavioral patterns.
Me and this man here, this man is probably old enough to easily be my father, but probably my grandfather. We come from 2 totally different eras, but we both came to the same conclusion. Our expertise is different. I come from a counseling background. He comes from an advocacy background. From a professional standpoint, like that's what he does for a living. And he drew the same conclusion that I drew. This story smells like crap. It smells wrong. Thank you. I agree with you in the chat. The little girl did not attack her brother. The aunt did. And the aunt had been doing this for a long time. Thank you. A history of violence. Let me tell you guys this. We're talking about being traumatized. Not only did this little girl see her brother die, she has to live with that. And now you have to live with the fact that there's going to be articles out there that are saying that this 9-year-old girl murdered her 4-year-old brother. Do you know how that would traumatize this little girl? How is she supposed to grow up and become productive when she's going to have that stigma attached to her for the rest of her life? Is that not going to mess this kid up? Behind a lie that I think the auntie is telling on this little girl.
Now, Cole is currently being held on a $150,000 bond. She is expected to be in court tomorrow morning.
And as we come on the air tonight at 9, a 9-year-old girl facing criminal charges in connection with the death of her 4-year-old brother.
The shocking details coming to light in brand new court documents. The 9-year-old, now the second person facing charges in this tragic case.
Fox 10 News reporter Ariel Mallory live at Metro tonight, where the first person arrested still locked up. Ariel?
Could you walk around, please? Thank you.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Byron. The 4-year-old's aunt, Yolanda Cole, is charged with child abuse. And late this afternoon, we also learned that the 4-year-old sister, his 9-year-old sister, is also facing charges as well. According to those court documents, it says the 9-year-old beat the 4-year-old brother with a broomstick. New details tonight on the tragic death of a 4-year-old boy. Investigators now say his 9-year-old sister was involved. Last week, MPD officers were called out to a home on Jacob Drive where they found the boy dead.
And I have to say this. Where are they getting this information from? Who gave them the information that this 9-year-old girl was beating this 4-year-old boy to death? Who told them that? Did the little girl say that she did it? Or did the aunt say that's what happened? Because I'm sure they don't have video evidence of this. I'm sure they don't have any other eyewitnesses of this. I'm wondering who gave them that information.
Detectives say the boy had bruises. Tonight, new court documents reveal his caregiver, Yolanda Cole, woke up to the sound of screams. The 9-year-old sister allegedly beat her 4-year-old brother with a broomstick.
And I want y'all to notice those tears in her eyes. She's just mad because she's going to get punished. She's not sad about the little boy's death. She's not sad about what the little 9-year-old girl is going to be subjected to. She's only sad about herself, and I think that is a useless individual, and I think that's a selfish individual. She's only sad about her own self.
This is video of her being escorted out of MPD headquarters. I spoke with a family friend of Cole who wanted to remain anonymous. She says something doesn't add up.
I've never seen her yell at anyone, scream, or lose her temper.
Cole is the aunt of the 4-year-old, and it's unclear how she became the child's legal guardian. Court documents also show there was long-term abuse and a history of abuse at this location, but it did not say if Cole played a part in that.
I'm unaware of any abuse that Miss Cole could be accused of. I've never seen her be aggressive to anyone, to me, to her children, her grandchildren.
No one has been charged for killing the 4-year-old, but the investigation continues. It's also still unclear how the child died, while autopsy results are pending. And I did reach out to the DA's office, but because of the child's age, they were unable to comment. Now, Cole is scheduled to appear back in court on Wednesday. Live at Metro Jail, Ariel Mallory, Fox 10 News.
And I want you guys to remember, the key thing that they said in this story was long-term abuse. We don't know for how long, what that actual claim is, but to me, that's still indicative of the aunt. The adult in the house is the one responsible, 100% responsible for that. No, I'm not going to sit there and hold a 9-year-old child responsible for the death of a 4-year-old boy when, like if you look at that woman, she don't look like she works for a living. Like, she literally looks like she just sits at home every day and that's just what she do. She doesn't look like she has a job, like she goes out and she's productive and does anything. She's in those 4 walls 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can tell by how she dresses. She dresses like she came out of the movie Colors. Colors, 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 colors. She looks like she has not been out of the house since 1988. So I think that would wear on your little feeble mind at some point. Being inside of those 4 walls, you don't travel, you don't do anything, you don't look like you have a man, and you constantly are always in the presence of kids. And I don't believe that she loves kids or likes kids. I think that these kids were forced on her, especially the fact that she's the aunt. That means whoever her brother or sister is who dropped these kids off on her or lost the kids to her means that these kids were already in a bad spot to begin with. And she probably took the kids for a check. She didn't love these kids at all. And I think that this story is going to come out that this was a whole fabricated story pinned on this little girl so that she can get less time in prison. And I hope that she gets maximum time in prison. And we just got to pray for that 9-year-old girl, because Lord knows what that 9-year-old girl is going through. Just to have the idea that she might have done something is going to be attached to her, a stigma that's wrongfully attached to this little 9-year-old girl. But we'll update you guys on this story as we get more details. Thank you so much for listening with an open mind, as well as an open heart to this story. R.I.P. to that 4-year-old boy. R.I.P.